Alright guys, I got the spot for my anchor, which is going to be this bar right here. And then we're going to take the two bottom pieces, we're going to tie those together, and I'm going to have a loop that I'm going to hang my carabiner and rappel ring off of. And so I'm going to go ahead and tie this up. And I'll kind of show you that. But just wanted to show you a nicely dressed water knot, and I can show you more of that in another video, but I'm using a water knot for this. So once it's dressed up pretty good, give it a good tug. I'll zoom out a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm adjusting my knot to be in an area that once there's a force applied, it's not going to be applied to the knot. See here, the webbing here is going to be applied on by the rail and my force of me rappelling, and then you're going to have a force down here. So I'm going to go ahead and get them nice and equalized. And I'm going to tie an overhand knot. Just like that. So now we've got an equalized water knot, but that's not all. Now, you can see down here that I have a nicely dressed overhand knot, and then the knot that I used for the anchor is this one here. Now see, I got these little tails. See if you can see that. I have these little tails here that we're going to tie off. So we're going to make another overhand knot. On both sides, because we want to back up the backup. And there you go. So now, this is a pretty bomb-proof basic rappel anchor right here. I can pull on that all day long and it's not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set up the my rappel ring with the carabiner. It's right over here. Alright, so here we've got a D carabiner and our rappel ring, and basically, see, I got my loop here. Now some people might think, well, why don't you just put the rope, you know, through the loop and do that? Well, the reason why I'm not going to do that is because rope on rope is a bad thing. You wanna go rope on metal all the time. That's just something we don't do. So you're gonna put the carabiner through there, make sure the lock is facing down. That's the downward part of the lock. And then our rappel ring. And the rappel ring is gonna make it slide nice and easy. And there we go. And that's my anchor right there. Pretty bomb-proof. So now we're going to well, we're going to need to find the middle of my rope so I can go ahead and put it through my device, and then I can throw it over. Then we're going to basically check all our gear. We're going to start from the bottom, and then we're going to make an ascent, because I strongly believe in making an ascent first, testing your gear. You can climb up, test your support, test your gear, and that will give you more confidence that if you rappelled, then you know that you can get back up on your gear, on your setup. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to find the center of my rope. See it back here. We're going to uncoil this baby. And I usually don't like to put my ropes on the ground necessarily, because I like to keep it clean. I'm just going to unravel this. Okay, there's that part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of my rope, and we're going to go back to my rappel ring. Make sure there's no little kinkies in there. Okay, so we're going to, I'm in the way there. Oh, okay. Basically going to feed our rope through the rappel ring, and now I'm just going to come back quite a ways. I'm going to keep pulling till I get to the center of the rope, so I have two halves. This is very important. Make sure you can be able to see this. So I'm going to go to the end of my other rope, and making sure there's no kinks in the rope. A kinky rope is a pest. Alright, so I've got both ends of my rope, and I'm going to basically pull these length for length until I get half the rope. Then I can throw my rope over. Alright, so now I have half my rope. Now the rope etiquette is to yell rope when you throw the rope over it. And that's basically what we're going to do. So I've made an anchor. I have basically checked my anchor. I've attached my rappel ring with the carabiner through an equalized point on my anchor. And I found the middle of my rope. Now we're going to let people know that there's a rope going over the edge. That's just rope etiquette, and we're going to yell rope and throw it over. Rope! So you do that, because if there's somebody below you, when you have a lot of rope, it can tend to weigh a lot. So you yell rope, throw it over. Now we're going to go ahead and go to part 2. And part 2 is I'm going to show you how I set up my harness, and we're going to set up some prusik cords and some foot loops, and we're going to start climbing up this rope, and then we're going to rappel. So thanks for watching, and this is how I set up my basic rappel anchor. And you know, some people might look down on it, but this is I've read a lot of books, and this is just the way that works for me. If there's anything that you guys know that may help me out, then go ahead and throw your suggestions, and I'll see if those kind of work for what I'm going for. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's a big stress relief for me. That's why I like to do this. But yeah, go ahead and get to part 2.